You're listening to the AOD Disability Employment Technical Assistance Center podcast, where we learn from people who are working to improve competitive integrated employment and economic outcomes for people with disabilities. In today's episode, we talk with Angela Greene. After 21 years in a sheltered workshop, she left in favor of competitive integrated employment as a dining room attendant at the University of South Carolina. She is also a founding member and secretary of Impact South Carolina. Today's podcast is a continuation of Angela's presentation during our webinar, Employment First 2.0, Developing a Foundation for Excelling Systems Change Efforts Through Legislative Action. Angela is also a poet. Listen to the end of this podcast to hear her read two of her poems, I Am Not, and Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a podcast that we have today featured with self advocate Angela Greene. This podcast is a continuation of the National Community of Practice webinar that we facilitated in January. Employment First 2.0, developing a foundation for excelling systems change efforts through legislative action. In that webinar, we featured a few grantees that were moving the needle on competitive integrated employment through legislative action. So we heard from a Center for Independent Living in South Carolina by the name of Able, South Carolina. And through that, we identified a self advocate that was formerly in the sheltered workshop. And so we are with Angela Greene today, and we are just delighted to have her with us. And what we're going to do today is take a deeper dive into Angela's journey to competitive integrated employment. And so, what I'm going to do now is start off by welcoming Angela. Angela, thank you so much for being here with us today. We are so excited to talk to you more about your former life in a sheltered workshop and about your job as a dining room attendant. What I am going to do is just talk you through a series of questions that we have for you at the DTAC. Can you introduce yourself again, please? What is your name?
Hi, my name is Angela Greene, and I'm a self advocate.
Thank you so much, Angela. Can you please tell us what city and state you are from?
I am from Richland County, Columbia, South Carolina.
South Carolina. That is wonderful. Now, what we understand based upon your excellent presentation in January, Angela, is that you formerly were in a sheltered workshop for 21 years, from 1994 until 2015. In the amazing presentation that you gave, you talked a little bit about working in a sheltered workshop Monday through Friday, making about $3 an hour. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you did in the sheltered workshop when you were there?
Well, when I was in the shelter workshop, what my jobs were cleaning offices, I would dust offices, and I would do bathrooms and wipe down tables and take trash out, that sort of thing. So,
Now, were these tasks something that you like to do, or did they just tell you that you needed to do those types of jobs there in the sheltered workshop?
um, it it's it was more of nah. I didn't really wasn't crazy about my job and jobs I did. No, I didn't fancy them.
Yeah, I can understand that, when somebody isn't given a choice to choose the type of work they want to do, that it can cause feelings of, not really being excited about the work that you're doing. What can you tell me about the sheltered workshop? Did you have friends? Was it lonely? Was it a scary place? What can you tell me about being there?
Um, it was not a scary place, but I didn't really have friends because, as you can see, I'm a very outgoing person. But the kind of relationships, if you will, I had at the workshop weren't very friendly. So no, I didn't have a lot of friends.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I know that you have some exciting things to talk about relative to your new job. And before we take a deeper dive into the job that you have now, I want to ask Angela, did you ever ask or talk to maybe the staff in the sheltered workshop about getting a job somewhere else in the community? Did you ever let them know that you wanted to try something different?
Yes, I did.
And what would happen after you told them that? What would they do?
They thought that they felt that I didn't have my, they felt that I wasn't capable, that I didn't have the capabilities of, you know, doing more.
Well, that can definitely be frustrating when people tell you that you are incapable of something when you know that you can do it, right?
Right.
I want to talk a little bit about a pivotal moment in your life that you talked about during your presentation, Angela. You said that in 2015, you went to a new agency. You talked about the new agency believed in you and that they helped you gain employment in the community. They took a chance on you. Can you tell me a little bit more about how your new agency worked to help you get a job and learn more about the things that you like to do?
So, let me, I moved here, but I originated from Manning. And so how I got in the program was through other programs. If you a lady named Miss Christie and Miss Val, and at that time they had supportive living, and that's how I got connected with Bab. That's how I got connected with Babcock, and they helped me find employment.
So you were able through your supported living program to learn that there was other agencies who could help you and provide services and help you connect to getting a new job. And that's when you ended up going to the new agency.
Right, right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Got it. So how long were you with that new agency until you were able to get your new job as a dining room attendant?
It was just like magic. If you, I just want to use magic. It was this, like once I came here, this was like I moved here in 2015, and I was saying about a couple of months, and how I got connected, how I was able to is again was the job coach program. Through the job coach program, that's when I gained the competitive employment. And so now I have been working for USC for 7 years.
So you are working at the University of South Carolina for about 7 years. That is excellent. 7 years is a really long time. And it shows, Angela, your commitment to your job and to your employer. So let's talk a little bit about your job. What do you do as a dining room attendant?
Well, more so of what I do, where I take out trash, I do wipe down tables, and then I like the sweep the floors, and sometimes like I stack up the utensils if needed, and then I go in the other um units if they need, if they stuff need wiped down, I wipe down, then I stack up their utensils and stuff as well. And then sometimes if somebody needs some down the other other units, I do that. You know.
Excellent. So it sounds like, yeah, you may do some cleaning here and there, but there are way more aspects of your job, like making sure the utensils are clean, they're in order, they're stacked up because people need those utensils to eat. So that sounds
Mhm.
like an important job, Angela. Now, what is your shift? Like, what hours do you work?
I'm more from it's 11 to 5, and that's I kind of go in like more the rush hour. That's where a lot of the kids will be coming in at lunchtime per se. So
Okay.
that's 11 to 11 to 4, and I have 4 days a week. Yeah,
Okay, 4 days a week. Got it. And is it a same schedule, like the same days every week, or do you change days?
same Monday, and the only day is I have office Thursday.
Thursday. And that's why you're here with us today on
Hmm.
this webinar on a
Yes.
Thursday because you had a day off.
Hmm.
Well, that's great, Angela. In out of all the work that you do, all the tasks with the utensils and the cleaning and making sure things are in order, what is your favorite task to do?
Well, my favorite is this seeing the kids satisfied and a job well done. This
Yeah.
giving them, you know, encouragement. I would say through the work I do. The some I come across may some days look kind of sleepy or down or whatever, and I'll come by and say, "Are you doing all right, young man? Are you doing all right?" And they'll be like, "Yes, I'm doing fine." So that's my biggest enjoyment.
That's really nice. It's that social part, connecting with people, right? Talking to people and having relationships with people, which seems very different than the work that you would do at the sheltered workshop. It seems like here at your job as a dining room attendant, Angela, that you have opportunity to engage with people and talk to people and just going back to what you said earlier, right? You're an outgoing person. You love to interact with people and to socialize. Do you know, Angela, what your hourly wage is? Do you know how much money you make on the hour at work?
Well, this minute is 7.25 an hour, and I've been
Oh, that's
yeah
great. Uh-huh.
7.25. And what I do sometimes I times I add up my hours and stuff, so like the 7.25, and I like work 5 hours a day. So
Excellent. So you do some basic math and you have a handle on kind of your money and what you
hmm,
get paid and things of that nature.
yeah,
That's great because money matters is very important.
yes,
Regardless, right? If a person has a disability or not, it is important to be abreast and aware of kind of a financials, right? So, Angela, I'm going to transition over. We talked a little bit about um, your former life in a sheltered workshop, what you were paid, the environment, how you felt being there. Then we talked about that big change in your life when you got a new provider in 2015 and you were able to get your new job as a dining room attendant at USC. We talked a little bit about your new job, about socializing, about your tasks. But what I'd like to transition over to now is some of your advice. Angela, to this day, currently, there are thousands of people across the country that are still in sheltered workshops. There are people who desperately want to get out of the shop, who are talking to their support staff like you are, who are trying to use their voice to let them know that they're ready for a job in the community. But countless individuals are being told that they can't be in the community, that they are unable to achieve competitive integrative employment. And what I want to know, Angela, is what tips you have. What tips or advice do you have for people that want to get out of sheltered workshops? What would you
first
tell them?
first and foremost, love yourself and be true to you. Never mind, don't fall into the traps of people saying what you can't do. If you have if you have the passion and the drive and mainly support. I think that's what it's come down to. Yes, you can have all that, but you need strong people, good people in there to encourage you. Find you some good, encouraging people. And don't, if I could use this, don't try to connect with dream killers because there are, it's really your dreams and you are connected with your dreams. It's your goals. Nobody knows you but you and knows what you can and knows what you cannot do but you know. So that what I would say.
That is powerful, Angela. I'm reminded of um, the other advice that you gave during your presentation, which says, follow your dreams no matter what others say, tune up the negative, and always try to embrace thoughts of inspiration instead of negativity. I really appreciate that quote that you just gave. Don't connect with the dream killers, right?
Right.
Stay away from those. Go follow the people and go to providers and be with SILs and other grantees that believe in you and that truly know that you are able to achieve competitive integrated employment with the proper supports. That is just such powerful advice, Angela. And what do you what would you tell someone who's trying to learn about what they like to do? What would you tell them? How to learn about new jobs and explore different areas? What advice would you have for a self-advocate who's still learning about themselves and what they like?
And again, like I said, I would it was go back to support in order to, I would say, reach for those goals. You have to have a good team as well, because if you don't have a good team and trying to connect you to your dreams, then it it won't work. So that's what I feel is you can achieve any dream as long as you have a good support system and good people to back you up and that really believes in you. And once you have that, because just like iron do sharpen iron, and if you don't have that iron, then it won't. So that's what I feel. There's the there's a lot of research out there. If you're computer savvy, go on the computers, look at the different websites and see what's out there. There's a lot of help out there. You just have to know and knowing how to connect with the help.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
That's a great recommendation. So, for any self advocates that may be unsure of how to get their journey going to competitive integrated employment, is find people that believe in you, that are positive, that can give you the support that you need to explore your options and identify the best job path for you. That is just such a great set of recommendations, Angela. Now, before we wrap up, I want to ask if there's anything else you want to tell us. I know, Angela, I understand that you have a great passion for poetry. And so I'm opening up the opportunity to see if you would like to share some poetry with us today on our podcast.
Yes, I would.
Let's hear
And
it.
well, I have two, and I hope I'm not trying to be long here. Here we go. This one is called Am I Not?
Okay.
Am I not great, even if I don't wear a cape? Am I not smart, even if I didn't go to Harvard? Am I not lovable when I don't get any? Am I not helpful, even when no one helps me? Am I not encouraging when I have to encourage myself? Am I not thankful when the world doesn't seem to be? Am I not?
not. How amazing.
And this one is called Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Everybody wants to rule the world, but no one wants to help it. What am I saying? If you ask millions of people why are they not happy, 9 out of 10 would say job. You may ask them why, then they would say because I'm not the boss. Next, I don't have a house like my neighbor. Why would you want a house like theirs? You don't know what they had to pay for it. Here's another one. My child is only a C student. I wish they could be a student like others. That may be so now. That may be so now, but remember that C student could become the coolest, smartest actor, best-selling author, and motivational speaker there is. On the other hand, that A student you wish you could have been started using drugs, disrespecting co-workers, and lost that big fine house in that fancy neighborhood you wished you lived in. Are you ready to help the world?
Wow. Amazing, Angela. Bravo. This is such awesome work. You can tell that you just put all your heart into these poems that you're creating. And so thank you so much for taking the time to share some of your poetry with us today. Angela, before we wrap up our podcast, is there anything else that you want to tell us about your life, about your job, about the wonderful life that you live as an independent woman in South Carolina?
No, I think everything is well, and I think I'll kind of end it on that note.
That sounds great. Well, on behalf of the Disability Employment Technical Assistance Center, we would like to thank you so much, Angela, for participating in a podcast through the January Community of Practice webinar, Employment First 2.0, Developing a Foundation for Excelling Systems Change Efforts Through Legislative Action. We appreciate the opportunity to engage with you, and we look forward to keeping in touch with you and your wonderful work and your job at USC. So thank you again, Angela. Great to have you today.
You've been listening to the AOD Disability Employment Technical Assistance Center podcast. Today we spoke with Angela Greene, founding member and secretary of Impact South Carolina. To learn more about Impact South Carolina, visit impactinsc.com. For Angela's presentation during the DTAC webinar, Employment First 2.0, Developing a Foundation for Excelling Systems Change Efforts Through Legislative Action, visit aoddisabilityemploymenttacenter.com and click on the Events menu. The AOD Disability Employment Technical Assistance Center, or DTAC, is a project of the Lewin Group and TASH, created by a grant from the Administration for Community Living to provide evidence-based training and technical assistance to Administration on Disabilities grantees, aimed at improving competitive integrated employment and economic outcomes for individuals with disabilities across the nation. Music for the DTAC podcast is an original composition and performance by Sunny Sefarati, the co-director and autistic self-advocacy mentor at The Musical Autist. You can learn more about The Musical Autist at www.themusicalautist.org. To learn more about DTAC, visit aoddisabilityemploymenttacenter.com. For news and alerts about upcoming webinars and podcasts, you can sign up to receive our newsletter or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.